This is Talking with Burritos, the podcast that's giving you something to talk about when you want to talk about movies and media entertainment. I am Jerry J.J. Wayne Graham, and on this podcast episode, movie subscription services, specifically MoviePass. What's going on with them now, why the model works, why it doesn't work, and who it benefits the most. I am Jerry J.J. Wayne Graham, and first of all, I'd like to thank you for listening, and let's start the show. MoviePass has had its ups and downs. A lot of it came with the hype behind it. You pay $9, $10 a month to watch any movie, anytime, without restrictions or limitations. And as this model became popular amongst moviegoers, you started seeing more restrictions put on them. Sort of like people, you can't go during certain times now. Like they have peak times. They have shows that you do. They're going to restrict show times for first run movies, for movies opening that week. They're going to add like an additional fee. And you have to take pictures. You have to prove that you are the person actually watching the movie. They have a lot of things now in place to try to, thwart abuse and to actually maybe try to control the amount of movies people are watching, which goes against their motto. Their motto is to actually go and watch movies. Go watch all the dang movies you want for only $10. It's all about subscribers. They wanted more subscribers because if you think the more subscribers they have, they were hoping that those subscribers will pay off the amount of people who actually watch movies. That's the thing. MoviePass would work and profit if people did not use the service as it was intended. So if subscribers stayed home and paid the monthly fee without reaping so much of the benefit, MoviePass would not be in the current state of desperation. They need money, and they need money fast, and they'll be looking to subscribers to pay, which subscribers don't want to do. They do not want to pay as much. When this service first came about, they were actually charging close to $50 a month. That was the price of a MoviePass, $50 a month. Now, if you think about that's actually more feasible of an amount for moviegoers, especially those who actually attend movies as a family. Now, I don't really know if that extended towards family, like a family plan. If you think it's like $50 a month is actually a little bit too much for me, I'm supposing. I would guess because I wouldn't watch that many movies a month. If I actually had to pay for movies, I wouldn't watch that many movies a month. Now, for the person who does, if you're a movie critic, if you have your own blog or something, and your job is to watch movies, yes, that would benefit you. Let's say if you're taking in 10 movies, then that pays for itself right there. But if you're just watching, which a lot of us, we watch maybe a movie a month, if that. It's recommended. I think it said that, I forgot what the study said, but states, but I think it's the average movie, the average person sees maybe 5 movies a year. The average movie-going person, the average person sees about 5 movies a year. Think about $50 a month, and you're paying that, but you're not going to the movies. Who's reaping the benefit of that service? Not you, but the actual company. And that was the model behind MoviePass. It's let's get after they drop the prices, we're going to try to get all these subscribers so we can get all of this money, compile this money, and those who don't go and use it, then all that money is going to come back and pay for all the people who are using it. The problem is now that a lot of those people who bought this pass are using the services. So MoviePass has to shell out millions of dollars a day to cover ticket sales. So you're only paying in each, let's say in Arizona, in the state where I live, movie tickets are ranging around $10 for your average movie ticket. It's about $10. So therefore, that right there your movie subscription pays for one ticket. That's how much money they have. So if you're using that $10, then the next time you use it, they're coming out the pocket. And I know people who are actually see people who use their pass more frequently than others than one time a month or a week. They're using it 2 or 3 times. So therefore, that's $20 more that the company has to cover. And if you think all of your millions of subscribers are using this service daily, then MoviePass has to cover it using their own funds. Movies that they have, money that they have banked. Now, the problem lies is they run out of money because why? Too many people were actually using the service. And why wouldn't they? It's a great price, $10 a month, and you can see all the movies you want, including new releases. That's just ridiculous. So I think this subscription model is great. Why? Because it gets people into the seats. There are actually people going to watch movies now who wouldn't have months ago without MoviePass. Why? Because it is, for a lot of people, expensive to go see movies on a weekly basis, especially if you're paying for more than one person. Or if you're going there and you're paying for concession items and all these other amenities, then that is paid. That cost really grows on you, weighs heavily on your pockets and on your bank account. Therefore, a $10 a month is a gonga deal. Yes, that's the problem. It's too good of a deal, and people just started using that, and they used it because they've been itching to come see movies all the time, itching to get out of the house. If you're a college kid and you're just sitting around the dorm room and you're thinking to yourself, hey, let's go watch a movie, but I'm poor. You know what? I'm not poor enough. I'm poor. I'm not that poor that I can't afford $10 a month for a movie pass, and then I can go with my buddies and we can just go and watch a movie. Now, I love subscription services, and this is a great idea. It's just that business-wise, it does not work. It does not work unless you're a multi-million-dollar company already with the funds to cover the amount of money that you're spending. Because over time, you will grow in subscriber base, and then you will be able to encourage your subscribers to what? Help out the service, help out your company by doing what? Paying more. Now, at this point in time, I think they might just, with the latest press releases, they want to charge customers more, their subscribers more to watch movies. And they want to take away, they want to charge them more and take away amenities that they already have. They want to take away the ability to watch new movies for that week. So if a movie like Mission Impossible comes out, they want to restrict that. Say you can't go and watch this movie on your current plan of $10 a month unless you do what? Hey, we're going to add this stipulation here. You have to pay on top of that fee, your $10 a month. When you go into the movie theater, you actually have to pay another surcharge, another charge to watch new movies. That's another way to help the company pay for the amount of tickets that they are having to pay out of pocket to help them cover some funds. And that's only one of the guidelines that they've changed that is current. I think they did a couple others restricting showtimes, and there were times, a lot of blackouts, a lot of especially on the weekends where they blacked out the service and you can't actually see the movie that you want to go watch on the app. You can't choose it, so therefore you can't buy a ticket to it. You try to call them, hey, look, it's the weekend, we're closed. It's just a lot of things that's going on there. And big ups to the company, the CEO, who doesn't want this to fail. You have to think positive. You can't just think, hey, we're going in the hole. But the thing is, this is a business. And so a lot of the information that is out there about your company, people can just research, Google it, and read up about it and see what's going on. For one day, MoviePass last week, MoviePass had to borrow $5 million to cover that day's worth of purchases, of movie ticket purchases. That is totally bonkers. So this plan is just not working out the way they wanted to. However, it's a good idea. I like subscription services, seriously. But I do, I like subscription services, yes. I drink coffee. We have a subscription service. We had a great subscription service to, I forgot this other, I forgot the original company, but they were a startup company, and they supplied coffee from all around the world. And it was a great service. And then they sold to another company. And this company, they've gotten off to a little bit of a rocky start when taking over this startup. Things aren't the same. The coffee tastes a little bit different. And that is making my wife and I consider canceling this service. Why? Because things just aren't the same. And they're changing too much. So you selling me on a product like MoviePass, and then where I'm comfortable with my $10 a month and watching my movies, and then you want to change it on me, that really kind of throws me off, and I just get to the point where I just get frustrated and I just want to cancel it. You know, subscription services are great if it works for you. Like my coffee, I liked it until this startup, and so now I have to wait for them to actually get their bearings together and get the true ball of the company rolling. And then we'll maybe decide if we'll keep this company. But she's actually researching another one from another company that supplies this great coffee, but they sell it only at Bed Bath & Beyond, and now they have K-Cups. I don't know. So if you're thinking about movies, subscription services, we all have them. We are all like maybe, subscribed to like 4 or 5 within one household or one person coming out of one bank account. It's ridiculous, but it is the times. We have Netflix, we have Hulu, everything's on HBO, everything is on a subscription service. And I have one of the things I do pay for, and I find it a true privilege to pay for because I love their product, is Adobe products. They have this master collection suite, and I pay for that monthly. One of the great things about this subscription plan is that it's a better option for me. I can use all of the products. These are $1,000 products. Maybe one day I'll be able to just purchase them whole and own them for a lifetime. But right now, I can't do that. I don't have access to an After Effects and Adobe Audition, from which I'm recording this podcast on now. Adobe Premiere and Photoshop. All of that alone, that's $4,000 to $5,000 that you have to pay for to buy that product. So when Adobe actually made this affordable for me, then I just had to take it because let's just say previously I did not get this product the correct way. I was using it. I was borrow a copy from someone else and install it on my computer. It's just the way we did things like in art school is that we borrowed products from one another because they were just too expensive for us to use at home. We could use them in the studio at school, but at home is where a lot of us did most of our graphic design and illustration work. We would do a lot of that stuff at home. But we didn't have the products, but somebody might have the products. And so we asked them, hey, let me get that product. I find it a great privilege now to pay for the use of Adobe products. Seriously. I do not. That's one thing I don't shame away from. It's like, hey, take it out of my account. It's right there. Do it automatically so I don't see it. And I don't get depressed about it because I use this service and it's worth it. I use all of them. Now, if I was just paying for like one, it's like, okay, maybe I can just save up that same money and then buy that product. But a lot of these programs, they're in the thousands of dollars. I don't know how much they're making now, but I think it's a better option for a lot of us, a lot of creators now to just, rent it. And it's a great incentive, right, to your creativity. It's like if you're not using it, then you're wasting your money. If you're not using this program, you're wasting your money. And that's what a lot of companies base subscription services on. If you do not use it, then you're still paying for it. And the same could go for watching movies as well. But MoviePass is another beast. It's like you use that once and it's all paid up for. You spent your $10. It works out for you all as well. And so we got MoviePass. MoviePass shook up their movie going experience with this inexpensive monthly service plan. Now we have other theater chains, following suit. There's Cinemark, which has Movie Club. The Alamo Drafthouse I think they're debuting their season pass option. And then AMC recently announced, a little program that's going into beta called Stubs, which is $19 a month. That gives, people the ability to the choice of movies to watch. They can watch movies in IMAX. They can watch movies in 3D, all for that premium cost. That's pretty good for one person. But as you start tallying up and adding more people, all depends if your family watches those type of movies a lot, or if you and your partner, someone else within your friend circle, you guys watch those movies a lot. Those type of movies, 3D, and I think they also have IMAX. All those movies are included in that $19.95 monthly plan. So that's great for one person. But when you start adding people, if you have a family like I do, it's like, nah, that's $100 a month that I'm paying for a movie service that I would not otherwise pay for if things were different. So if I didn't have this service, I wouldn't pay for it. So like I said before, the average movie-going family or person only sees about 4 to 5 movies a year. You think about how many movies actually come out. Only 4 to 5 movies a year we watch. Plan just has to be right for you. MoviePass has, if there's anything that they've done, is that they set this model. It's here. It's pretty much, I think it's here to stay for a pretty long time. I don't think people will actually, because as people start subscribing to these services and using them, what do? You gain a more frequent or reliable customer base. A lot of these people who subscribe to your service, your particular movie theater chain service, they're coming to your movie theater. They want to use the service that they pay for. They're not going to go down the street to another theater. They're going to come to your theater. They're going to keep it in-house. So that's actually pretty good. That's good for the movie theaters. So if anything, MoviePass has helped movie theaters in a lot of ways. Whereas they have they've gotten butts to seats. There are more people watching movies because of MoviePass. And now with with theater chains developing their own subscription services, they're going to really tend to their customer base, and they're going to keep those frequent customers. Why? Because they're paying for this service and they know what they're going to get. So it's actually a pretty good model for movie theaters, not for MoviePass, but movie theaters. So unless somebody else comes in and try to save MoviePass, they're pretty much a sunken ship. Go Google MoviePass and you'll see updates upon the hour of issues people are having with MoviePass. Now with movie theaters benefiting from the subscription service, I wonder, there is speculation, my own speculation that possibly this model might make its way into the Hollywood studio boardrooms. And I'm talking about premium content offered to subscribers who pay to watch event films. Movies that they will offer in theaters, movies or movie series that they will offer in theaters at a subscription cost that helps them benefit from this subscription model. Let's take an example, Walking Dead or the Game of Thrones, Better Call Saul, I don't know, but one of these very popular TV shows having made movies to release in theaters that people subscribe to. You pay for, let's say, one lump sum, $60, $80, $120, I don't know. You pay this sum of money to go watch this series of movies in theaters. Think about it. Every hour of the Game of Thrones is like a damn movie. They're just making it longer. So if you take these 2-hour series and adopt the British model of television, a lot of their series, like the Sherlock Holmes, those are like 3 movies, all 2 hours each. And that's your entire season. You do that here in the United States, you put that in movie theaters where now luxury is the selling point, then people just might buy into it. They might just buy into episodic movie watching. For some time in the early 2000s, there was a Harry Potter film released every year. Audiences subscribed to those movies. They knew they were going to get a Harry Potter movie every year, and they all knew that they were going to pay to watch it. Those movies were very popular. Now, you could say, what if they ran more subscription service where it's like, okay, oh yeah, they can say we're selling Harry Potter as a 6-film movie package, but they can do this beforehand, so they know their cost overhead. And they say we're gonna film all of these movies. We're gonna release them every within a series of, let's say, kind of like pay on demand type thing, where you pay for the package and then you're gonna get all of these movies, and they're gonna be released within 1 year. You're gonna release them back to back to back to back. It wouldn't be, actually that model sucks because it wouldn't be as great, because over time we were able to see these kids grow up, and it was actually based on books. But what if we had an original series of Harry Potter where everything was scripted based on the previous existing movies, or Game of Thrones, not necessarily following the books, but just stories told using the concept of said movie or TV show. One of the things I want to interject right here into this is the benefit of actually doing this. Think about your favorite book. You know how many times we've read books and we've said, hey, that's nothing like the movie? You know why? Because they've crammed so much into the story. Let's take a Stephen King book or a Stephen King novel, or just any good famous novel, that popular novel that you've read. They've tried to take the entire book, a manuscript that's like 400 pages maybe, and then trying to condense it into an hour 45-minute movie. Now, let's say you have a movie package. Let's say they're taking the same adaptation, but they're making it longer. Instead of like having a movie that's filmed one half 1 year, the next half the next year, no, they have the same movies coming out, and it's going to be a 3 2-hour movies, 6 movies in total, released over a period of a year. And so now you buy a pass and you're able to get that, because they've already filmed all of the content. They know how much this movie is going to cost. They've done the actual work of figuring this stuff out financially. And so then what they do is they sell it to you as a package. And so you know when you're going to buy it. You know that when you're going to buy it, you have the right or the permission to actually come and watch those movies when they're released, because you bought this pass. And hell, what about World War Z? Especially World War Z. I would love to see a 8-hour movie, not even 8-hour movie, not even 8 hours. I think that should be like 16 hours worth of a movie. And you span it over 4 months. And a lot of that content would just be someone interviewing someone. But yet then you have that action content, that good stuff, the stuff that actually costs a lot of money. So if you can play it differently and tell better stories, then that's how you can use it for long story form content. And say you have a book series. You don't want to release it over like a frame of like 8 years, but no, you have this book series, and but Harry Potter is totally different. Let's not think about Harry Potter, but some of these other book series, where everything just seems, the timeline isn't that great of a difference between movies, or just one novel, whatever. but it just extends over a period of time instead of trying to put everything into one movie. You make it into a group of movies and then you sell it as a pass. And bada bing, bada boom. We subscribe to it. Why? Because we are subscribers to movies now. And I think that's one good way that you can inject this into the movie going experience. You release a block of movies. 3 2-hour movies released within, let's say, you have a year. And so every 4 months, you get a movie. But you pay for that package. And you get to go and see that movie and watch that movie in theaters. I don't know if that would work, but it would be something to consider for Hollywood or just television shows. People will pay to watch. Well, okay. Yes, even something like a television show, people will pay to watch in theaters. Why? Because you're offering it as a service just like Netflix, a service just like HBO Go, a service just like Hulu, but they're offering it in movie theaters. That means studios like Warner Brothers, studios like DreamWorks, they'll offer a movie series or film series that you can watch in theaters. And what if you have a Paramount Pass where you can go watch Paramount movies in theaters at a certain cost? That's affordable, but it's only Paramount movies. You can't go see any other movie. You can only see Paramount movies. And maybe that will encourage studios to make more films, make more content. In this day of age, a Disney Pass would be great because Disney is ruling the market right now. Disney will have a movie in theaters almost all year. Disney will have a movie playing in theaters, various movies, not all kinds of movies. And so a Disney movie pass would be great. I can pay for a yearly pass for Disney movies, or I can just go in there and I can pay and I can watch movies with this pass. I show my pass at the box office and they let me in to go see all of Disney's new movies. I don't know how that would affect them actually. Well, because if you think about it, it could encourage people to actually pay for a pass. And if they don't use it, then they miss out on the movie. But the overhead has been covered. The pass will cover all of the expenses for the ticket prices that Disney will be earning from the average moviegoer. So if you give them a pass, they can either go watch the movie or they don't. But most likely, those who will buy the pass, which will come into the millions, they will use that pass and they will go watch their movies. Seriously. So if you think about that, that would be kind of neat to see. Is it feasible? I really don't know the business model. I am not a businessman. I only put out concepts, ideas. But I'm thinking that if they wanted to infringe upon Netflix and all these other studios doing things, they totally could. They could totally go to war with cable network, with Netflix, with Hulu. If Netflix is trying to make movies to release on screen, then hey, Hollywood can make TV shows, series to release on screen that they can opt to play on television if they want, but most likely they wouldn't. They would just play it in the movie theaters and then have it after a year or so or 8 months come out on VOD and DVD. Boom. That'd be their way to combat or go against or compete with like Netflix. They still have their thing, but just like I said before in the previous episodes, there's a lot of movies that don't get made because they won't make money in the theaters. Period. Something like 8th Grade makes money based on word of mouth. Sorry to bother you, but it makes money based on word of mouth. But many of these indie films, festival films, they don't make as much money. They don't get released in movie theaters. They don't get that time in the movie theater because the box office they don't see a way to make money off of them. So that's why you get all of these sequels and all of these just remakes of these movies that we care about. Yes, we want to see them on screen. Why? Because they're there. And I'm serious. It's because they actually release. You say summer movie, And that's what comes into your frame of thought, because you get inundated with these trailers, and the movie slate has already been there, slated or listed for months ahead, and you know what's coming out. You know you're going to have a Jurassic Park. You know you're going to have a Sicario. You know you're going to have all these just different remakes and sequels, and most of the movies that came out this summer were just remakes and sequels. That's all. You had a few original titles. I would say that this summer, the best movie that came out this summer that was relatively not franchise, different, and original was Sorry to Bother You. Although I do state that it is not a summer movie to me. It's just a movie that came out that was released amongst all these other blockbusters that just really added something to the atmosphere of movies that was decent, that made you think, that was entertaining, but just wasn't like, oh, look, this was based on something else that came out 3 years ago. It was an original title, and it was released during blockbuster season, but I don't think this was a summer blockbuster movie. It was entertaining, and it was refreshing. The night I saw this movie, I actually watched Skyscraper. I watched that beforehand, and that was just almost a snooze fest for me. It was just so like, oh, look, let me hit this mark. It was blockbuster worthy. And I love my blockbuster movies. I really do. One of my huge draws to the movie industry when I was younger was Terminator and action movies, Cobra, anything with Arnold Schwarzenegger again. I would just love action movies. It wasn't until I got older that I started paying more attention to story. And I realized that, hey, I love the storytelling of it all. I do love action, but I do love the storytelling as well. Having, a Skyscraper and some of these other movies, Jurassic Park, it was fun for the summer. It did what? It filled the spot. But did they add any value to this summer? And I'll get into that in episode 84, which is coming up after this one. This is episode 83. My next episode will be focused on that. Like these 3 summer movies that I watched that I didn't think that were that great. They were here and they did some things where they just want to try to save this franchise. Or did they save the franchise? Did they try to move the franchise forward in a different direction? What did they do exactly to this franchise to make it, more entertaining to us, the viewers? Or was it more about dollars? Tell me what you guys like about this in the comments for this episode. You can go to talkingwithburritos.com/contact, and you can contact me. You can have a number there, email, Facebook, all that information is right there on that website. Tell me what you think, and what have you subscribed to? Me, I subscribed, I've told you, Adobe products. Like I have a coffee. What else did I subscribe to? That was just stupid. That, Netflix and all these other things. My wife asked me like last week, how many things are you subscribed to? I'm like, I don't freaking know. I just really don't know. A lot of times I look at my bank account, it's like, what is that? I don't even know what that is. And then you have some kid stuff like Animal Jam and things that they actually play. And look here, I'll tell you, I pay like $10 a month for that damn Xbox pass or whatever. And actually, I should just buy the whole pass. I don't know why I'm still paying $10. I think it's like $60 for a year. So I'm going to have to go in there and fix that. I think I did it for a month thinking that my kid was going to play Minecraft, and then he didn't. And so I was kind of stuck with it. And so I need to go and change it. It's like, and that's exactly what people want you to do. That's what a lot of these subscription services like that want you to do. They just want you to forget about it because they'll get your money anyway. You sign up for it, you forget about it, and it's there on the back burner. That's why a lot of, when you sign up for things and they say, hey, it's for free. It's free for this month. And then you sign up for it, you put in your card, and then you forget. And so then they charge you. And I know a lot of us have probably gone through that. I know I have. Or you forget to subscribe to something, and then they charge you over again. It's like, oh, crap. And you try to beg and plead for them. It's like, oh, you didn't cancel it. So you pay for that service, and now you have to go in and pay. And make sure if you have it set on a PayPal or something like that, what you do is you actually go into your PayPal account and find services. And the service that you rendered the money to, that you're rendering that you're giving the money to, that you're paying, and then you go there and you cancel the subscription there. If you're trying to do it through them, if you just say, I want to cancel my subscription, they'll cancel it. Yes, if you press that little button on their website, that's okay. But if you don't do it in your PayPal account, it's going to continue on your PayPal account automatically. So that's just a tidbit for you guys, a little tip. Other than that, okay, I got my weekly gratitude of the week. I say subscribe to whatever you want, but just make sure, I think that'll be my tip for the week. Just make sure you know what you're subscribing to. And if you're going to subscribe to something, use it. And if you don't use it, cancel it. If you have 280 freaking channels and you only watch 2 on your cable, cancel that. You most likely have Netflix and Hulu and access to a bookstore. Do that instead of wasting your money every month, or get faster internet instead of wasting your money on cable services that you don't use. And that's, again, directed towards me and my wife. She keeps telling me to drop the ball and just go ahead and just cancel it. Just cancel it. I don't want to do it. Just cancel it, because she can't do it. I don't know. She can't convince herself to do it. And so she's trying to get me to do it. And I'm like, okay, I want to watch football and stuff too, but I guess I can get a football package in another subscription services. That's what I'm saying. My tidbit for the week is just know what you're subscribing to. Look at your bank account every now and then. That's my weekly gratitude. And, what do I have? Do I have a flavor text for the week? $10 make you holla. That's Talking with Burritos. I am Jerry JJ Ray Graham, and go check me out at talkingwithburritos.com. You have access to me and all of my services, contact, and everything else. Thank you for listening, you guys. Take care and have a great week. Now, I really don't know how long Movie Pass is going to last. And this is just me coming in because I recorded this podcast earlier, and now I just want to update it a little bit. Whereas now they are actually cutting down the amount of movies you can see to 3 movies a month. Now, you think about this. You went into this service with the idea that you're going to be able to see movies, unlimited movies, for a month. You can see unlimited movies. You can just walk in there and watch movies. But then they cut it down to so you can see only certain movies. And it wasn't with some of the top bill movies or the movies opening up that week. And now they're going to change all services to what is just 3 movies a month, which, mind you, is still not that bad, because like I said, only people see 4 to 5 movies. Most families or individuals see 4 to 5 movies a year. Most people. Not talking about you, not talking about me, talking about most other people. Because if you listen to this podcast, or if you listen to, you most likely watch a lot of movies. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you just like to hear me. Whatever. But that's still kind of like a good deal. Seeming like a movie ticket costs just about as much as a movie pass for the 3 months. For the 3 movies a month. But if you were actually watching unlimited movies and partaking in that, I would say good on you. And also I would say you might want to evaluate some things. Not demeaning you in any way, but damn, if you see movies every damn day, then you must have a lot of time on your hands. Either you're very rich or you just ain't got no damn job. Just say. But that's okay. That's okay. You can do it. You're still supporting the arts. That's fine with me. But I'm just saying, you have a lot of time on your hands. And me, I do it because I actually work in a movie theater. So I get lucky like that. Or maybe you work at a movie theater. Go do that. Shit. Why not? But now they're limiting people. And did you hear about that one thing that they did? Like, if you were a card holder, a movie pass card holder, and you suspended your subscription, when they came out with this, they actually sent out an email to a lot of people. And you might have been thinking that, hey, I unsubscribed to this program. And so I don't have anything to worry about. What actually happened, though, they sent you an email and they said if you do not respond, if you do not respond to this email, then you agree to the terms of service. So a lot of people who were yearly members, you know what happened? Their subscriptions were reinstated. And so then they got bills in the mail. And it's like, wait, I didn't pay for this. I canceled this. But they didn't look at the email because they thought they were under the assumption that, hey, I don't have to look at my email from MoviePass because I canceled my subscription. But you had to actually acknowledge that email. They put it in there, but you would have to read the email to acknowledge the email. So if you just deleted it or just scrolled up and like, yeah, I don't need to worry about that, then they actually charged you and reinstated your MoviePass subscription. So a lot of people, if they thought that it was already gone and if they don't pay attention to their bank accounts, you will still be in charge, and you will continue to be charged until you realize that, hey, this money coming out my account isn't supposed to be coming. It's still supposed to be there. Why is it coming to being taken out of my account by MoviePass? Because I tore up my card and everything. That's why. Make sure you go to them. Tell them that, hey, you don't want this. This is why. But they did have a stipulation. If you didn't answer that email, then I guess that's their way out. That's their cover. If you didn't answer that email, then you were reinstated. So you would have to have answered that email. And I don't think you have anything legally that you could do about that. You could just ask them to cancel it. Well, I think they have been giving people refunds with that reinstate. Yeah, I think I just recently heard that too, or read that they are giving people refunds to whom accounts they actually reinstated. So I don't know how much longer this is going to last with them. I know they said something about financing a movie. I don't know. I don't know what's the hell's going on in here. And I think my actually attention to this whole thing is actually going to dwindle down to nothing because I really don't care now. It's cool. I bet you if I didn't work at the movie theater, I'd probably buy that because I like movies. But then I wouldn't really come out much because I'm lazy and I don't even like coming out of my house to go watch movies at a place where I get free movies because it's just one of those things. I'd rather do something else than go outside. I'm just very indoorsy. As they would say, introverted. I only come out on this podcast because it's fun and I don't have to look you in your eyes. But hey, that's an update on MoviePass. So if you still have MoviePass, keep using it. It's only $10 a month. Shoot. But use it. Don't. You lose it. Use it or you lose it. That's what they say. It's like your legs. Use them or lose them. Go walking. God damn it.